Salut class. Today we're going to talk about how to use reflexive verbs in the passé composé. So remember to follow along with your note sheet and pause and rewind the video as needed. So first off, remember that the passé composé is formed with two words, and these two words are two verbs. So you have your subject, and then you have your helping verb, which is often avoir, and then you have your past participle. So take a look at these examples. J'ai mangé une pizza. Elles ont pris des photos. Nous avons dansé hier. Ils ont vu un film. So these are sentences describing the past. Also remember that there are some special verbs, and we call them Vandertramp verbs, that instead of avoir, they use être as their past participle. So the thing to remember about these Vandertramp verbs is that one, they're conjugated with être, and two, the past participles have to agree with the subject. So you have je suis descendu en ville. So if you're a girl and you're talking about I, then you add an E. Elle est sortie avec un ami. Because the subject is a girl, we add that E. Tu es allé à l'école. Again, the gender of the subject changes the past participle, and same with ils sont devenus médecins. Because the passé composé uses être for Vandertramps, I want us to review how to conjugate être. But the main reason why we're reviewing this is because reflexive verbs like Vandertramps are formed in the passé composé with être as the helping verb. So pause the video and remind yourself, quiz yourself on how you can conjugate être. Okay, let's see how you did. Okay. Reflexive pronoun then, because you know the rules with Vandertramps. You've studied them, you've learned them, you know the agreement rules. So now the difference is, what do we do with this reflexive pronoun? We put it right before être. So we have je me suis lavé, il s'est brossé les dents, ils se sont rasés. And notice in that second sentence, the se becomes S apostrophe, because, and that's the same with me, te, and se in the present tense too. If it comes before a vowel, then you change it with the apostrophe. Same in the past tense. And just like with the Vandertramp verbs, there is agreement with the past participle and the subject in the passé composé. So we have elle s'est lavée, nous nous sommes réveillés, elles se sont habillées. You add that E if it's feminine, an S if it's plural, and an ES if it's both feminine and plural. But as you know by now, French is very complicated, and sometimes there is no agreement. And a situation that we're going to talk about now where there is no agreement with reflexive verbs in the past tense is if that reflexive verb is followed by a direct object. So in this case, we would often talk about like a body part when we're talking about these reflexive verbs. So if you look at these sentences, we have elle s'est lavée. We have agreement because it's feminine. But that second sentence, elle s'est lavé les cheveux, the subject is still feminine, but because there's that direct object noun after the verb, we have no agreement with the subject. Okay, we'll practice this so you'll feel more comfortable with it. If it's negative, we follow, very similar rule. We have the subject, the ne. The reflexive pronoun still goes right before être, and then the pas, and then the past participle. So we have je ne me suis pas lavé, il ne s'est pas brossé les dents, ils ne se sont pas rasés. Okay? So now it's time to practice. There are 8 lines on your sheet. You're going to see a subject and a reflexive verb. So in this case, the subject is madame. The reflexive verb is se laver, and I would like you to put this into a sentence with the passé composé. You may want to pause the video after each one is revealed so you can try it on your own and check your work. So pause the video and do this first one. And here's the answer. We have the S apostrophe because it comes before a vowel, and the extra E because the subject is L. Here's your next one. Pause the video. And here's the answer. We have the T apostrophe because it comes before a vowel, and the extra E because we find out that we knew that U is feminine. Number 3, pause the video but make it negative. Here's the answer. It has the extra S because it's plural. And it's masculine, so it only has the S. And notice that the ne and the pas goes around both the reflexive pronoun and être. Here's the next one. Pause the video. Here's the answer. Now make sure you note the agreement. Yes, les garçons is plural, but because we have les dents after sobriquet, there is no agreement. That's the rule we were talking about before with the body part that comes after the reflexive verb. Here's the next one. Notice here you have the E because it's feminine and the S because nous is always plural. And another. This one has the E in parentheses because if you are a girl who is writing this, you added the E. If you are a boy watching this, you did not. Here's the next one. Again, notice it is feminine and plural, but because hair, les cheveux, is after the verb, you do not have agreement. And there's the answer. Notice the placement of the ne pas and the agreement. All right, this concludes this video. Please feel free to rewatch the video if you need to and come to class with any specific questions you may have.